friends, Diana here. I'm very excited about what I'm going to share with you today. This is my immunity boosting bone broth and I love it. The last time I made this, 3 days later I got the flu really bad and it was wonderful to have in my freezer and in my fridge, and I just could whip it up and actually drink it. And I'll show you at the end like a few quick recipes that I did to drink it when you're sick and need that boost. But right now, subscribe, like, comment, let us know what you do when you think you're getting sick. This time of year and with everything going on right now, it's a big deal, right? But subscribe if you like gluten-free recipes, health recipes, just simple, easy, everyday kind of things. I am just a mom in her kitchen and I have learned what's worked for me and my family, and I just want to help you guys. So let's get started. This is one of my favorite kind of recipes because it is a non-recipe recipe. What does that mean? It means you kind of have these guidelines and then you get to change it around. So I always start with my Instapot. I love my Instapot. And
some say love, it is a river.
this is fantastic for soups, but awesome for this because I used to put it in a slow cooker for 24 hours and now it's about 3, which is a lot less. So I usually put about a tablespoon of olive oil. This is to kind of help break it up and make sure it doesn't bubble too much, a little bit of flavor. Then what I do is in my freezer, I keep all the old chicken bones that we have eaten in the past weeks or months. And then I just save them and then I have them for my chicken broth. Now my favorite is a chicken carcass. When you have the whole carcass that's a roasted or deli chicken, either you've made or picked up, fantastic. Another option is if you go in your freezer and you find some chicken that's like super freezer burn and not looking too tempting, it works for me to throw it in here. As long as it's not too bad, it'll work fine. And then you might even have some shredded chicken at the end. Chicken in. The more chicken bones that you put in, the more collagen and goodness you're gonna get out, but you gotta leave some room for the veggies. But I have learned it makes a big difference to put in a lot of bones. And you can always go down to your butcher, the meat department, and see if they have extra chicken bones. Get a bunch of chicken wings for cheap because that's mostly cartilage and stuff in there versus meat. Fantastic ideas. Now chicken feet I have done before. They do add a lot more collagen-y texture. They're kind of gross, just being real, but that's totally an option too. And then I just throw in my veggies. Now with my carrots, I did peel them because that part on the end, or the part you peel, is a little bitter. In general, carrots are going to add sweetness. Now, not sugary sweet, but a general sweetness to your broth. So you definitely want them and you want to keep that in mind when you're thinking about it. So I have 4 large carrots that I'm putting in. Sometimes I put in more. I have a bunch of celery here, and when I put in celery, I have to think this is going to do a layer of bitterness. So how much do I want? Now celery is really good for you, but I also don't want too much in there. So I'm just going to throw some in. These are kind of a little older. That's okay. Broth is amazing. It makes something amazing out of your scraps. Now I often actually save my scraps. So if you're cooking something else with carrots, celery, onions, garlic, all those things, save them and throw them in one of these bags, and then you have them for your chicken broth. And it is phenomenal because, cool thing that I've learned, garlic skins and onion skins actually have a lot of properties to them. So I just cut my garlic in half and put it in there. Now I really only had laying around 2 half bulbs of garlic. Why? I don't know, but that's what I had. So I want to have at least equal to 1 full one. So I'm just throwing that in there. This is why I like this recipe. You just throw it in. And then my onions, I'm going to cut 2 onions. And I'm keeping the skins on. So the yellow onion skins are actually super good for you. They have vitamins and
vitamins, meat, vegetables, and minerals.
Antiviral and antibacterial. So you bet I'm putting those in there. I'm just loose hacking, chopping at these. Throw them in. It's gonna look full, but you'll get a lot of water in there. Now here's something I'm adding in today that I don't always add in. Mushrooms. So these are simple white mushrooms. The thing about mushrooms is they've been shown to be really, really good for your immune system. So not only will they add a more depth of flavor, they're gonna do another boost in there too. Yay, that's what we're looking for. Then more for flavor, I'm gonna put in my bay leaves. I love bay leaves.
Some say love. It is a river.
They're the kind of thing that you notice when they're missing, but you don't necessarily realize, ooh, this has bay leaf in it, but really good. And then you're gonna add just some pepper, you know, to taste. I would start with like a teaspoon or so. And then a couple teaspoons of salt. I tend to go light on the salt because I want to have control when I'm cooking or whatever, because a lot of times I use my broth for my soups or other recipes. The onions are hitting the heat, so it's making me cry.
It's enough to make a grown man cry, but not this man. Get back in there, Tia.
So I want to control the salt, but if you want yours a little more, put that in, but you can always add salt later. Okay, I think we have everything but the water. So I'm starting here with 4 cups of water. Basically, I just fill it till a little bit underneath the max, whatever your max one is. We're pretty much right at the max right here. But once this cooks down, it's gonna lower. So this is my not recipe. It's pretty simple. And then I'm just gonna set this to manual for 120 minutes. Now it will take a good chunk of time to get up to temperature because there's so much in here and my meat is frozen. So it will take a long time, at least 3 hours. So in this time, I will probably clean up the house. I need to do a shower, so I might come back with curls. We'll see. But I love this because this is something you can even leave this. Totally, you could leave it for 5 or 6 hours because then it will just like go to that keep cooling off thing. So I just let it sit and chill. It's not gonna hurt. As long as the temperature is high enough so that it's killing bacteria, it's just gonna keep getting you good benefits out of it. So I love it.
Some say love. It is a river.
Sometimes I'll do this and then I'll do my bread. My bread machine's down there. So that's about 3 hours for both. And then I have my broth and my gluten-free bread, which you can check out my recipe here. It's so simple and easy because that's what I love.
Some say love.
Okay, friends, we'll be back in 3-ish hours. Hi, friends. So I'm back and it's all done. It sat for quite a while, but that's okay. Let's open it up. Ooh. Smells like chicken broth. And it's a nice, dark, rich color. You guys, when you do this, you realize the stuff that you're using out of a box or can often is like water because this is so dark. So what I do is I have here a pot and then my strainer to catch everything. So I can dump it in. Ooh, you see that color? Wow! Of course I'm making a mess. There we go. Okay, unplug. Then what I do is I take this potato masher and you squish out the goodness. Get every last bit of goodness out of the vegetables and chicken into my broth. Woohoo! So these are all very cooked. I don't use them for anything. I throw all the veggies and stuff in the trash. Some people might use it. It's not worth it to me. Okay. Okay, let me show you what this looks like. Do you see that? Do you see how thick and all the goodness in there? And when this cools, it will actually kind of look like Jell-O. That's our collagen, which is exactly what we want. So I will also show you, because I'll make this up and I'll put a little video here, what I love, how I love to drink it, especially when I'm not feeling well. So what I do is I cut up some garlic, some ginger, and then I dump that in my little mug because I'm drinking it. And then I'll often add cilantro and lime and then a little more salt to add flavor. And then I drink it. So it's almost like an Asian broth, but it's super good and it's super good for you. Yay! See how simple this is? And then what I do is I let this cool and then I save them in containers, Ziploc bags to throw in the freezer, ice cube trays, which are super handy because I'll put them in ice cube trays and then dump them into bags, and then I have the like ice cube size broth to use whenever I want. But this just makes phenomenal chicken soup. Like I said, you could just drink it. It's delicious. It's amazing, and it's so easy, you guys. You saw how easy it is. So who's gonna go make their chicken broth? You want this on hand because if you're not feeling well, you don't really want to deal with making it. We don't. So anyway, I'm very excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and check out what videos we have recommended for you. If you're really trying to stay healthy, we have an elderberry syrup video, also in the Instapot, or our homemade hand sanitizer. So go check those out and I'll see you over there.